And this morning, Catholics around the world are mourning the death of Pope Francis, who passed away yesterday at the age of 88.
Now the Cardinals are taking the next steps to plan the pontiff's funeral and preparing the conclave to elect a new pope. NBC's Alice Barr joins us live from Washington, D.C. with more. Good morning, Alice.
Good morning, Danita and Dave. The Vatican's announcement this morning that Pope Francis's funeral will be on Saturday is giving shape to the formal and time-honored process of grieving the Pope before choosing a successor. As tributes pour in for the people's Pope who led the Catholic Church toward a more progressive path.
Pope Francis had a way of getting the Church to think outside the box.
Centuries-old traditions are underway. While the faithful mourn, cardinals are at the Vatican going through details of the funeral now set for Saturday. Their first meeting since Pope Francis's death at 88, caused, the Vatican says, by a stroke and heart failure. President Trump is preparing to attend the funeral.
He was a good man, worked hard. He loved the world.
Though as dignitaries descend, Pope Francis is being remembered most for his devotion to the least among us.
He is the Pope of the poor, the Pope of the marginalized, underprivileged.
With a heart for children, Jocelyn Aquino met Pope Francis when she was just 12 years old, greeting him on his one and only visit to the U.S. back in 2015. The daughter of immigrants from El Salvador spoke in Spanish with the first Pope from Latin America.
This is the leader of the Catholic Church. This is the most powerful man. And I was just like, wow, you spoke to me in my native language.
A leader who spoke to so many, even beyond the Catholic Church. He addressed Congress on that trip to Washington, never shying away from voicing his views, from ending the wars in Ukraine and Gaza to advocating for immigrants and moving toward acceptance for the LGBTQ community. Often at odds with traditionalists, he cemented his legacy as a reformer. As cardinals prepare for the conclave to elect his successor and decide the next direction for the Catholic Church. Pope Francis named more than 100 of the 135 cardinals who will gather to vote for the next pope over the next couple weeks. That move to reshape the global church means the elections could be more likely to head toward the path of reform, though there will be a traditionalist movement to course correct as well. Dave and Danita.
All right, Alice Barr reporting live from Washington for us this morning. Thank you.
Well, local orchestra scheduled to perform at the Vatican next week before Pope Francis will still make the trip. Candace Hare joins us now live. Candace, this is a performance that now takes on a new meaning.
That's exactly right, Dave. Good morning. So this group out of Akron, they're called Hearts for Music, and they're an orchestra that is made up of musicians with special needs. And one thing we've learned is that they were originally invited to the Vatican to perform at the Jubilee of Persons with Disabilities, and that was set to take place in Rome next week. They say the intention wasn't just to perform for Pope Francis, but it was to help create a bridge between the U.S., Rome, and the rest of the world. They tell us they briefly thought of canceling the trip after Pope Francis's passing, but they believe he would have wanted them to persevere.
Now the performance translates into a bit of more of a tribute performance to a man who really championed the causes of those who were disfranchised and marginalized. So we're going on behalf not just of the people we serve in Akron and Northeast Ohio, but because we are the only special needs orchestra that's been invited to the Vatican, we represent all of the United States and all of the world, and we, as ambassadors, would like to come and pay our respects.
44 people will be in that group that's heading over. That will be made up of students, parents, chaperones, and even a small medical team. We've been told, Dave, that they are scheduled to leave for Rome on Saturday.
This means so much. I'm glad they decided not to cancel. All right, Candace Hare live for us this morning. Thank you. Well, 3 News spoke to a former student at John Carroll University, who is now the university's director of campus ministry, about the Pope's passing.
His name is Brother Matt Wooters, and he got the chance to meet Pope Francis 5 years ago. He talked about the pontiff's legacy and how that might shape the next person who takes on the role.
Frequently they say with conclaves, that, when they pick a new pope, it's a referendum on the previous one, that maybe we need to pivot. I think Francis's simplicity and his outreach to the young is something that's going to carry forward. His predecessor certainly did that as well, but I think Francis had a unique care for the marginalized and a simple way of life that I think will carry forward.
Brother Matt says the rosary Pope Francis gave him is what he holds every morning as he prays. Well, don't go anywhere, because coming up on the Today Show, continuing coverage of Pope Francis's death, including a look at the top contenders to succeed him. The Today Show airs at 7 a.m. right after Go.